Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Wellness Day, a podcast coming to you every Wednesday here from the Jehangir Wellness Center. I'm Kavas Jehangir, and here from the JWC studio, I'm joined by our CEO today, Vinod Sawantwadkar. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you,
It,
Kavas, for having me here.
it's been a long time coming. We've had many guests, but we thought it's about time that we get the boss here for their word on wellness and their thoughts on everything from healthcare and everything that we do here at JWC and so forth. So I'll start straight up and ask you, what does wellness mean to you?
Wellness for me is a sound functioning of your body, mind, and emotion, and that's basically come with a bit of a discipline in every areas.
Yeah,
If you want this to function very well, and one of that is very important is wellness itself.
yeah,
Doing your health checkups very regularly. Many people I know that they wouldn't do it, but rather than getting you surprises later, it's important that you do your basic health checkups, and there are people to guide you, there are professionals to guide you, so and that makes you in a good space.
and it's actually very important you say don't get that surprise. But a lot of people have that psychology that they don't want to. They fear it. They don't want to see what they may or may not hear about. So it's an interesting psychology that people have to
Absolutely.
try and break through.
And that's a little experience, that's a, not experience, that's a little experiment we try to do it here at
Right.
Jahangir Wellness Center. If somebody walks into this place is very different than traditionally what people looked at as a health checkup or health
Yeah.
checkup lounge. This is more of a very warm place wherein, yes, we do a health checkup, but we do a lot of other things, right from when somebody enter this place, making them feel, very comfortable, to taking them through the complete journey of, hey, look, you are fit and
Wellness. Yeah.
fine, but we want you to stay like this. So there are many aspects to being staying like this. Apart from physically you've been staying very fit, there's something called as mental, and there's something called as emotional.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we offer a lot of therapies for our people, and it's working very well.
Yeah, full wellness, that full holistic sense. But coming back to you, you're a very busy guy. So what do you do for your own wellness in terms of being able to be stress free or try to be as stress free as you can? Because obviously, as CEO of a group hospital, you're pretty wired throughout the day. So what do you do to de-stress and stay well?
So I mean, with me, what has worked very well is two things. I like what I'm doing, and my bosses like what I'm doing. So that's very absolutely, stress free. And as I said, a bit of a discipline actually helps you, because you do your checkup very regularly. You do a bit of a exercise and make sure that you are really not getting stressed out, because you can get stress from anywhere.
Yeah,
And
and especially as CEO of an organization, it can come from anywhere, anytime. And then you add the aspect of being in a hospital, it can be even more wired. So
Absolutely, and do your things. What you're supposed to do regularly. Do it in a proper fashion.
right,
I
right.
think so that take care of things. You get stressed out wherein you know that you are supposed to do something which you have not done it. So, and when you know that you have done your best, I think so.
Yeah,
You just leave
absolutely.
the rest.
And I've seen that with you also. You're very disciplined with your swimming.
Yeah.
That's
I
something
mean,
that you do.
not now. I used to be, but it's almost been a year. I've not been very regular, but
Right. No, but you're always doing some kind of exercise,
yeah,
which is something that's the important thing. Like I've seen you doing your walks. I've seen you. Well, you can do your walking through the hospital as well. That can also be exercise.
yeah, at some point of time, I desire to or wish to do that, but by looking at the current traffic condition, it's better me not do that.
Right. I mean, you've been in this space for many years now, with many years of experience. Wellness now is becoming a buzzword for people in the industry, and everyone is trying to do things that they claim to be wellness. What would you like to see the industry and us, honestly, as being industry leaders in that space? Because we truly try and do wellness holistically. How is that something that you would like to see happen in the future at a group level and at an industry level?
I would answer the industry level question, maybe that part maybe later, but
Yeah.
at a group level, definitely, with us, I think so. It's within us that we really want to take this space more, make it more reachable for our people.
Yeah.
So we definitely have a plan, a to take it to a multiple places in near future to come in, and B is also learn from what we are doing right now, and add those value adds which we really feel our people, our patrons should, they deserve to get it. So we are looking to, to expand our current wellness setup at a
Absolutely,
multiple
yeah.
places because it's necessary. It's very much important that we create awareness among people and we tell people what the true wellness is all about, and second is make it accessible. It just doesn't stop at creating awareness. It has to be taken to a next level and make it accessible to them and tell them like, look, this is what the holistic wellness need to be.
Absolutely, and it's a true value for us. For example, I mean, we genuinely want people to stay away from the hospital.
Absolutely.
We want them. We don't just don't want them to stay well. We want them, or rather, we just don't want them to get well. We want them to stay well.
Correct.
So our philosophy is really, it seems contradictory to people as a group of hospitals where we're telling people we actually don't want you to come here. We want you to stay well. So that is really something that we are trying to push.
And in fact, these are two different worlds. Like
Yeah.
at hospital, we are seeing people, who have reached to a certain level, and it's more from a, correction point of view what we are looking. Whereas wellness is for a people who are absolutely fit and fine,
Yeah,
and they would
yeah.
like to continue that journey, and that's a space, that's a different space. So that's the whole idea, and we would like this. We would like the first space to grow.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't like the second space to grow. But yes, we are also looking from a hospital point of view that space, provide more facilities,
Yeah.
facility to the people in order to address the need of the people who already have some sort of a suffering.
Right.
But practically as a CEO, I would like the wellness space to grow because that's where, the healing part,
Right.
that's where,
Absolutely.
keeping people fit comes into play.
Absolutely. And I think for us, it's really the real combination of both is really what works for.
Absolutely.
Is, as I said, we want people to stay well. But if you are going to, unfortunately, need help and come to a hospital, we will take care of you.
Absolutely.
So that is really, I think, as you're saying, it's really a meeting of both those philosophies that we're trying to push and hopefully will keep growing in that aspect. But coming to you were talking about expansion and stuff like that. Particularly now, with technology becoming such a huge factor, where do you see the world going, especially our world per se, in terms of technology and expansion? Where do you see that happening now?
Well, technology is coming in all these spaces. If we restrict ourselves from a wellness and to hospital point of view, there's a lot of technology intervention which is coming in wellness areas also. We have just signed off, I mean, like multiple other organizations. One of the organizations with whom we have signed off is, Meta Rivers. They work very closely with the people in terms of monitoring them, guiding them. Absolutely, from a wellness space point of view, we have
Oh, you mean the online?
online.
Right. Yeah.
We have also signed up with the people who help people from a mental health space point of view. So all these spaces are growing. From a hospital point of view, the technology is playing a very important role from what we call it as PCC, the patient-centered care.
Right.
So that one space which is emerging, and as we are expanding, we would like to keep that as a core because it simply allows us to deliver the care better to the people. Yeah. And it makes patient in a center, and it makes patient as a decision maker.
Which is how it is. I mean, that's
Which is
the
how-
core of our philosophy. The
Absolutely.
patient first.
So I see, technology helping us in many ways. Broadly speaking, in these areas, of course, technology will help us to make it things more transparent. To bring in more precision, to have better outcomes and a faster outcomes.
Yeah.
And as a hospital, we have already on that vision. We have already started working on
Right.
those areas.
What about robotics? Everyone talking about robotics these days. Do you see that as part of the future?
Absolutely. I see very soon we getting into the robotics space.
Right, yeah.
And while doing that, we see, doing a robotic program which is very, very sustainable. Because we believe it's important to adapt to a new technology, but also create a very a robust ecosystem which makes any program very sustainable. So soon we are going to get into a soft tissue robotic program as well as orthopedic robotic program. The idea is to offer people what is good for their health, and the complete team at Jehangir is geared up to
Right.
offer this program to people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask you one last question. or rather, maybe a few questions that come to mind. Coming back to your personal health, how often do you do a health check?
Quite often, as I just finished my health checkup day before,
Oh, okay, good. So I caught you on a good day.
so I would do it elaborated health checkup maybe once in a year,
Okay.
but then some primary test
Yeah, yeah.
every 4 months.
Okay, that's very good. So how often do you recommend someone to do one then?
I mean, it all depend upon the age group.
Right.
Like somebody who is in maybe in 40s should do at least once in a year
Okay.
a complete health checkup. Maybe can continue till mid 50s, and beyond that you should have it. Yeah, once in a year should be good enough, unless and until you want to keep an eye on the or keep certain parameters monitoring. Then the frequency maybe more, but at least once in a year should be a good.
Okay. And then what do you do for your mental well-being, for your de-stressor?
Well, you know,
I've heard you sing in many of our parties.
I do sing. I go for a walk. Any outdoor fitness activities actually helps you to distress yourself. I've been longing to finish one book since last 6 months, but somehow I'm not been very lucky to do that.
Work and
I
time
like to
always
I
comes.
like to read as well.
Okay. Well, final question then, Vinod. Jehangir Hospital now is coming to its 80th year, or the end of next year will be our 80th year. Where do you see the future for the next 80?
For next.
For the next 80?
Jehangir Hospital, the fabric is very different, than what we see regularly when people are into this space. How we look at it is, in immediate future, I see we may be doubling our capacity in next, purely from an infrastructure point of view in next maybe 3-4 years down the
Wow,
line,
okay.
and yeah, and adapting to the newer technology what we spoke.
Yeah.
But as a hospital, we see ourselves continuing in this space for decades to come.
Healing
And
people will always stay the same.
yes, and what we see ourselves to be a kind of a regional center, and then move on to become a national and an international center, wherein people should come to us with for the answers to rare diseases.
Right.
Wherein they know that you go to Jahangir and Jahangir would give you
All the answers.
all the answers and ethical care. That's
That's
something
number
which
one.
is
Absolutely.
I believe quality comes with the value system. Quality comes with the right food,
Right.
in front, the proper ethical care. So I see Jahangir continuing with this legacy and making it stronger and stronger as the time change. And we should be, anybody who walk into the Jahangir with the requirement of a good healthcare should get the good healthcare. Doesn't matter at what strata of the society
Absolutely.
he or she is
Absolutely
coming,
correct.
whether they have enough money to fund their healthcare, or they are a little underprivileged in doing that. So I see we creating an ecosystem wherein we should be purely looking at treating the people. And I'm very happy to tell you in my the experience with Jahangir, there are so many like-minded people who actually come forward to help people to give them a right treatment.
Absolutely. The right people will always flock together.
I see, we creating a complete ecosystem with these people, the like-minded people, so that anybody who deserve or who need the healthcare,
Right.
get the healthcare at Jahangir, and that would be a dream for us.
Well, lovely. Thank you so much, Vinod. On that note, it's always lovely hearing from the boss. So thank you for being here, and look forward to the next 80 with you.
Thank you, Kavas. Thank you so much for having me here. I don't know for next 80s, but
Yeah, well, hopefully.
yeah. I mean, yeah, but that's
But the legacy will always go on.
absolutely. And I always say, it's a baton relay.
Absolutely.
We need to pass on to
That's a
the
lovely
next
that's a
person.
lovely note to end on. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you all, and see you all next week.